WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you, right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. We're going to hook up with Fletcher Mackel momentarily. Fletcher's got a real job. Works for Channel 6. I believe Fletcher is at Saints Camp, getting ready for round 2 and 3 of the draft. And then I guess iShack or the girl that does the reporting, woman, does the reporting for sports. I don't watch 468 and 26 News. I couldn't tell you who anchors or does sports or any of that, but somebody else is at the Zurich. Anyway, no, I'm not bragging that I don't watch 468 or 26 News. When I used to do editorials on News with a Twist, I'm being honest with you. When I anchored the show with Susie Rosegen, like for about a year and a half or more, and when I did editorials for like 7-8 years, I'm not making this up, never, ever watched News, never watched the program. I never watched it. I did the program. I didn't go home and watch it. And I go to the 46826 websites, other websites, NOLA.com, The Lens, all kind of sites in town, Axios, New Orleans, all this. And that's where I get my info. And to be honest with you, nothing burns me up worse than when I go to a television website And instead of having the story up, they have a video. Because I don't want to watch the 3-minute video. I can blow through that story in less than a minute and get through all the stuff that I already know. They'll have like a headline. They'll have like the big thing that happened. Then they'll tell you the back history, and then they might tell you something else. So I might know the back history. I don't need to read that. I see that paragraph. I see all the points, the names popping out, and I know who's in that, and I know what it's saying. So just move on quickly. So now I can read it in 45 seconds and know exactly what's going on. I don't need to watch the 3-minute. Let's go to Brenda Smith. Brenda, what a story you have for us. Yes, it is an incredible story. I don't need to hear all that back and forth. I'm not dogging it. I get why it's there, and I get why people watch news. I used to watch a lot of local news. And it's kind of funny. Corey does a local talk radio, talk TV program and never watches 4, 6, 8, 26 local newscasts. But you would be kind of selling me short by not saying, but he's on those websites every day picking and choosing. You know, the story about cats stuck in the tree had to send out the fire department. I don't know. Maybe if there's a lot of time on the show, I might talk about that, but I doubt it. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. There he is. We take whatever we can get from him. Fletcher Mackel joins us live on the program again. Fletch, always a pleasure. You're at Saints camp?
I am, Corey. I'm sorry. They were moving us from one media area to kind of the main area where they're going to do press conferences and such. So I was helping my photojournalist carry his equipment and couldn't answer my phone, so I do apologize.
What a professional. Not one of those snobby reporters that just tells the guy where to go and you just sit over there and like eat a bag of chips while he's lugging all the stuff.
Correct. No, I'm a team player, so I was carrying the tripod and some of the gear and couldn't answer.
It's 4:24. How many minutes do I have with you?
I'm sorry, say that again?
It's 4:24. How many minutes do I have with you?
Probably till 4:30.
Okay, good. About 5 good minutes. Awesome.
Yeah.
Because I got a slew of topics. Let's start with I really do. A lot of sports stuff going on, especially locally. You're at Saints camp. Last night, Saints didn't move. Tell us about the 9th selection, this Kelvin Banks kid. Automatic starter day one, right?
100%. Automatic starter at left tackle, probably moving Taliesin Fuaga back to the right side. And then you've got 2 franchise tackles. Look, Fuaga was unbelievable at Oregon State on the right side, but because Trevor Penning was a bust, they had to play him on the left side last year. But you look at Banks and you say, okay, he's our left tackle for the next half decade or beyond, hopefully a decade if he doesn't get injured. But you look at him as a cornerstone, a pillar, and everything about him is great. He's won every individual award for offensive line. He was a team captain. The person that he is jumps off the page. So again, you can't knock the pick. And then moving Fuaga to the right side to his natural position is probably an even bigger boost. So the Saints at the tackle position look set. The problem, and you're asking me my opinion, is that the reason why they're drafting another offensive tackle is because the one they drafted in the first round 3 years ago is a bust in Trevor Penning. So you're fixing a mistake, and maybe that cost you picking a franchise quarterback like Jackson Dart.
Yeah, wow. That's a great point, Fletch. And the last decade or so, lots of offensive and defensive linemen selected number 1 overall. That's sort of the Saints' MO, right?
It is. And look, and here's the thing. You can't argue with that because, Kellen Moore said it last night. It's a cliche, but everybody says it. This is a big man league. This is a game that's won in the trenches. And I get it. We all understand that. But former Saints player and Super Bowl champion Scott Shanley pointed this out. The Saints' Super Bowl winning offensive line did not feature 1 first-round draft pick. They had Jermon Bushrod, who was a 4th-round draft pick, Jari Evans, who was a 4th-round draft pick, Jonathan Goodwin at center, who was a 5th-round draft pick. They had John Stinchcomb, who was a 2nd-round draft pick. So Carl Nix, who was a 5th-round draft pick. So again, you can find good players. You just have to find them. But the Saints have definitely gone with a in the trenches approach since Jeff Ireland came on board in 2016. It's offensive or defensive linemen. We're going to win or lose in the trenches. And unfortunately, they've lost a lot recently, 4 straight years without the playoffs, and they haven't drafted well since 2018. The Saints have only drafted 1 Pro Bowl player since 2018. Now, it was a guy in the trenches, Eric McCoy, but there's been a slew of misses. Marcus Davenport, Peyton Turner, Trevor Penning, Isaiah Foskey, Nick Saldiveri. So again, they keep shooting their shots at these guys, and I don't think the philosophy is wrong. I think the people that they're picking obviously haven't worked out.
5 wins last year. You got to get like 3 or 4 starters, maybe 5 starters out of this draft, right? Literally.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. The last time the Saints had this many high-value picks, so to say, in rounds 1 through 4, because, look, 5, 6, and 7, yes, everybody wants to find a Zach Strief or a Marcus Colston or a Tom Brady or a Brock Purdy, but those are diamonds in the rough. The large majority of your forever NFL players, your starters, your stars, come in rounds 1 through 4. The Saints have 6 picks in those rounds. They've got 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. They need to nail this draft, and it could set them up and get them back on track. And if they don't, then they will continue to be adrift in the abyss of mediocrity.
Yeah. Real quick, where are they targeting today?
I mean, I hope quarterback, because I don't think Derek Carr is ever playing for the Saints again, and I don't think Spencer Rattler's the answer. I thought they should have gone quarterback last night at number 9. If it was too rich for their blood, which it was obviously, then get a guy at 40 tonight if that's Jalen Milroe. Get a guy that Kellen Moore believes in and let them go. Because if they don't, and they pick a guy in the 5th round tomorrow, and your quarterbacks are Spencer Rattler, Jake Haener, and another guy in the 5th round,
right?
You have
no QB.
You're tanking without saying you're tanking.
Yep. Fletcher Mackel's with us. All right, super rapid fire because I know you got to go. Zurich Classic in New Orleans going on the Best Bank right now.
And the weather's great. The crowds have been awesome. Rory and Shane are back in contention. It's another awesome weekend for the Zurich.
The crowds have been good. Yesterday was good.
Oh, it was massive again. Yeah, Kendall Duncan, our sports reporters out there, and the crowds were huge again for Rory and Shane. And this weekend, the fact that they're burning it up right now, so they're going to be in contention tomorrow and hopefully Sunday, and it should draw some big crowds.
Nice, that's excellent. Yeah, and the weather's great for Jazz Fest, for Zurich, all that good stuff. Let's see. Tulane gets a quarterback from the Big Ten, and what? TJ Finley's back in the portal.
Yeah, I mean, look, TJ Finley, obviously had some trouble with the law a few weeks ago, and I don't know if he was going to win the job anyway, so he's gone, and it is the kid from Northwestern and then Iowa, and look, John Summerall told us after spring football that these quarterbacks were all underwhelming and they were going back into the portal, and now they found one that is seemingly going to be entering fall camp with a guy that looks like he may be the guy, at least somebody with some more established starts.
Yeah, 6'4", 220, played at Iowa Northwestern. Brendan Sullivan from the Big Ten. Mulkey gets a guard from South Carolina. That's crazy. Don Staley loses a player through the transfer portal to Kim Mulkey in LSU.
Doesn't happen very often.
No way.
Kind of mind-blowing. I mean, look, good for Kim Mulkey. She's an unbelievable recruiter, but Don Staley is too. And I mean, that was an eye-opener to me.
NBA playoffs, just a quick comment or two from you.
Yeah, Oklahoma City's coming out of the West. I get it. Like, the Lakers are good. There's other good teams. But I'm not quite sure who's coming out the East yet. Could be Cleveland, could be Boston. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure Oklahoma City's coming out the West. How they were built and what they've done, I mean, the Pelicans should be looking at that and say, how do we do it? Because they started their rebuild after them, and they're better than them by leaps and bounds.
Before we let you go, any fireworks tonight from the Saints, or just kind of just drafting players, trying to build the roster?
Yep, drafting players, trying to build the roster. Hopefully they walk away with 3 guys that everybody goes, okay, I could see these guys being, starters, and hopefully one of them is a quarterback.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks, Fletch.
All right, Corey.
That's Fletcher Mackel live from Saints Camp. You can check him out on WDSU Channel 6. Doing a great job. Thanks so much for joining us, Fletch. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Saints need to draft starters tonight. They need to draft starters. They got one last night. Corey Johnson with you. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. next.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Jazz Fest in full swing. Zurich Classic in full swing. Saints drafting again tonight. The weather's cooperating. No rain. Mid-80s. Nice breeze blowing. Welcome to New Orleans. Kicking butt and taking names. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. joins us as he does every Friday. This segment always brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim.com. What's up, Michael?
How you doing, KJ? Yeah, this is that magic time of the year where we are spoiled for options. Or spoiled. Is it spoiled or spoiled?
I think it's spoiled this around these parts.
Spoiled, utterly spoiled. No, it's amazing. I think tomorrow might be a little bit mad out at the fairgrounds. It's going to be hot. I think it's going to be crowded. A lot of people coming out to see Lil Wayne with the Roots, but you just got to jump in the deep end, right?
Yeah, you get, that beer and, soft drink water line. They're very friendly, giving you a big chunk of ice to put on your head.
That's true. That's definitely
just tip.
Definitely true. No,
a couple of bucks buys you a big old block of ice for your head. Hey, Michael, speaking of Jazz Fest, I'm listening to WWOZ yesterday, live at the Fest, the Foundation Station. I mean, you tell me, you've traveled a lot more than I have all around the world, and you've taken it all in. You've traveled a lot more than most people have. You're married to a European girl, so you're constantly traveling. The live wire every day on OZ, they tell you the local establishments and the bands that are playing. So just having that 7 days a week is incredible on its own. I don't care if you're Austin or Manhattan. So every day they got that. Yesterday they read off the live wire. The DJ said it's like its own show, how long it is. I stopped listening after about 5 minutes. I went online. It was 100 plus acts at over 90 venues last night alone in New Orleans, Michael.
Yeah, it's I don't think there's anything like Jazz Fest in terms of the scale and the quality anywhere in the world. And then you've got to, because there's the Cubes and the Jazz Fest lineup, but then the after parties are completely epic in many ways, better than the show. And then at Jazz Fest itself, it's basically a food festival. It's not just the churros and cotton candy.
I want my funnel cake and my corn dog. Damn it!
I can give that to you. There's a party going on in Chico right now that has all of that for you.
The Des Moines Festival's fantastic.
Yeah. And then, I think that other secret of Jazz Fest is they figured out that people want to be able to kind of elegantly slum. And so there's something about the dust and the mud and the porta potties allows people to kind of, pretend to be gritty for a little while. And that's part of it too. They haven't messed it up by trying to make it too fancy. So you put all that together, along with the ritualistic aspects of it, and I think it's certainly unique to anything that I've ever experienced from going to festivals around the world.
Now, Metro New York, you got 20 million folks. You got Connecticut. You got New Jersey. I'm sure there are 100 acts at 90-plus venues in Metro New York, or maybe like Mexico City, or, but Manhattan. I don't know if you got 90 100 plus acts in 90 plus venues in Manhattan tonight on a Friday night, Michael. I don't know if you have that or not. New Orleans does. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's that ranking that just came out where we were ranked number one culture city in the country. It wasn't surprising that we were number one, but the reason that New York was not on the list is that it was done on a per capita basis, and so we have on a pound per pound basis, nobody comes close, and according to the ranking, nobody is close.
Boy, Jazz Fest, I was mentioning, like, it's a double-digit percentage of folks from, like, New York, New Jersey, like 10, 11, 12%. It's double-digit percentage from Europe. It's like 5+% from, like, South America, let's just say south of I-10.
South America.
It's Mexico, Central, and South America. South of I-10. It's maybe 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3 people nowhere from anywhere around here. They flock in to come to Jazz Fest. They fill the hotels, the music clubs, the restaurants. It's incredible.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't appreciate Jazz Fest, I think, as much as a young person. About 20 years ago, I really started to understand the ritualistic, almost religious aspect of it, and understood why it was so special. And, people complain that it's, gotten too big or there's not enough jazz. It has gotten expensive relative to what it used to be. But that's, I think, a reflection is what it costs to pay these artists that are.
No, and if this thing was in Chicago, New York, or LA, it'd be $250 a ticket.
Yeah, every day.
Literally every day, it'd be $250 a ticket, general admission, much less VIP and any of that stuff. Michael Heck's with us from Greater New Orleans, saying a lot of free advertising from this, Michael. It's a double dip. It's like the Super Bowl. You get this huge, and I'm not talking the numbers are the same. I just mean they're similar to Mardi Gras and Super Bowl. What is it? Hundreds of millions in economic impact, and then tens of millions of dollars in free advertising around the world, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's, every time these folks come here, and actually somebody was talking to me today, he said, it's great that we cleaned up for Super Bowl because it still looks good for Jazz Fest. And it is free advertising from everybody who comes here, the media coverage of it. It's something that has a value. It goes far beyond what gets spent in the bars and clubs, just during the week.
Fletcher Mackel just joined me a few minutes ago, and he said Yeah, I know. So I was about to disclaim that myself. His mom strokes me this big check every week. What am I supposed to do, Michael?
No, that's fine. I don't. I'm just empathizing. I understand.
Yep. I mean, her crying if I don't put him on, coupled with the money, I'm weak.
No, I get it.
I'm weak. What can I say? Anyway.
Well, it's pretty coercive. Yeah.
Yep. He said the Zurich is packed. It's slammed. Yeah. And I tell folks, go enjoy that even if you don't like golf, because it's 4 days. Just pick one day, go to Jazz Fest the other 3 days. There's great food. There's great music. You're outside. It's an international event. So that's a nice economic impact. I'm guessing tens of millions of dollars in economic impact. They give millions to kids' charities in New Orleans and Baton Rouge. But golf is an affluent sport, Michael. It's like a country club sport. So regionally, nationally, internationally, these folks with money and wherewithal are watching the Zurich, and they're going to travel. So that's more free advertising.
Yeah, and I'm actually driving right now, Corey, by the new 504 Golf, and I have to say, not only did they get the thing built, but the way they've got it lit up at night, it's not just your typical kind of driving range. It's kind of it speaks to the Superdome and the Crescent City connection. It's got all these LED lights on. It's actually pretty gorgeous looking when you're going by on the highway.
No, I haven't been yet. I'm dying to go there, and I'm going to be the dorky older guy with all the kids having fun. I'm going to actually be hitting golf balls. Like, might walk in with 5 of my own golf clubs. Like, He's actually just hitting balls like it's a driving range. What's wrong with this guy? What's speaking of 504 golf, glad it's open and rolling. Entertainment complex. What's going on with Top Golf and the River District?
Well, the River District is going forward. I'm feeling increasingly confident about the River District itself. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen with the golf facility there. I would not be, I don't know, I'd say it's 50-50 core whether the golf happens there. And I think the golf could survive there because you're going to be dealing with more of a convention center and cruise.
It would do well there. It'd be all tourists, and it wouldn't affect 504 in the least bit. That's going to be locals.
No, very little overlap. But I also wouldn't be surprised if that, as a project develops, that land gets used for some other purpose. So it's going to get used. And to me, I don't, nothing against, Top Golf, but I'm primarily concerned with the River District going forward.
Yeah. No, of
whatever
course.
happens there is going to be fine.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. Michael Heck's with us from Greater New Orleans Inc. We're knocking out a quick break. We're coming right back.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City. Corey Johnson with you on a Friday. You beelining on the causeway right now to the North Shore? Trey Yen in Mandeville. Are you kidding me? Fire in a to-go order right now. Be a hero when you get home. Walking in, mom, dad, the kids. Everybody loves Trey Yen. Don't forget the Tong Cho sauce. And hey, you folks on the South Shore, we got Jazz Fest and Zurich Classic. The hotels are full. The restaurants are full. Perfect weekend to get in the car with family and friends. 25 minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center to the front door of Trey Yen in Mandeville. This is the weekend to go. Trey Yen in Mandeville. Michael Hex with us from Greater New Orleans saying, no, Mike, I was just mentioning the Zurich Classic. Lots of free advertising with that affluent golf market around the country or around the world.
Yeah, it's there are very few cities that have this many built-in marketing opportunities like we do here, and we do a good job of taking advantage of them. I think one of the nice things about the Super Bowl is that we also promoted an economic message. We don't tend to do as much of that with these other events. I think we have to kind of think a little bit more holistically about the messages that we're getting to people. Although with Jazz Fest, it's hard. I mean, it is what it is, and it's people. They're not coming to Jazz Fest to get pitched on opening their tech company in New Orleans. They're there to smoke a doob and watch Santana.
Hey, speaking of, do we get some business from that? There's got to be some folks that are enamored with New Orleans, come down to Jazz Fest, get the VIP treatment there. They're CEO types. We've got to get some jobs out of Jazz Fest, I would imagine, every year. Something, huh?
Well, we do. I mean, I'll give you an example. So we just announced the opening event for a company called Capado that's opening here. It's an AI company that's headquartered in Silicon Valley that's opening up an office here. And it's going to start out small, about 20 people, but average salary is $85,000, and it's going to grow. And the reason why they're here is that the CEO, a guy named Ted Elliott, is originally from New Orleans, and he wanted to come home. And so, that's in an indirect way, it's saying that these are the things that draw people back here or to here, particularly in a world where increasingly it doesn't matter so much where you physically are because things are all virtual. So whether there's a direct sales pitch or it's just everything else is Cleveland, there's absolutely a benefit. And when we're selling to companies about why they should be here, we usually say it's the 4 C's. We say it's costs because we're lower cost in a lot of markets. It's cash because we have better incentives. It's culture, which is Jazz Fest. And then it's leadership. We talk about our leadership, but we don't have a C word, so we call it leadership. I was told I can't say that anymore, but I like saying leadership.
Well, no, I'd say leadership because we don't have any leadership. So you want to make it a different name. That would be accurate. That's probably, the cost, the cash, and the culture. We got the 3 C's. The leadership thing is a big question mark on that.
We have it now. We have the governor. We have LED. I mean, we're in a great position.
You're right about that.
Where we were.
No, you're right. Michael Hex with us for a few more minutes on this Friday. Jazz Fest. Happy Jazz Fest, everybody. Michael, this Capado thing, why don't we get together, and you get with a bunch of these, uptown folks and old Metairie folks and the affluent black community. I mean, you could do an article on Ivy League educated black men and women in New Orleans and find out where all these native New Orleanians they went to school with live now, and what they're doing, the ones that are bigwigs, where they're running a company, they're running something, $1 billion CEO type deal where investment, financial, whatever, where we can get 5, 10, 20 jobs here.
Yeah, that's actually one of the ways we went about inviting people to the Super Bowl, Corey, is we plumbed kind of the alumni network of New Orleans or the New Orleans diaspora, and we invited them back. Because that tends to be our most successful tactic, because these are the people that want to come back. These are the people that know that there is more to New Orleans than just big beers. And so we did that, and it worked. I think the biggest thing that we're doing that's working now is the overall changing of narrative, which is happening, for example, from this ranking that just came out where Louisiana went from, I think, 39 to 18th in the country for business environment. These big wins like Hyundai and Meta, all this stuff collectively, the Super Bowl, all of these things collectively begin to create a buzz and change the narrative. And that's what you need to do. And it's accretive. It's not just one thing, but if you sustain it over not that many years, 3 or 4 years, you can fundamentally change the way people think about a city or a region or state. Yeah. And I think that's what we're doing, and hopefully we can hold it together for 4 years. Yeah, no, we've pushed the first domino. The dominoes are falling. Let's hope it stays on track and we can keep knocking them down. Soon, Michael, I guess I'm going to be able to go to Mobile on the train with stops in between New Orleans and Mobile. Man, eventually I might be walking to the passenger terminal downtown with the rubber ducky and flip-flops going to the beach in Pensacola. But getting to Mobile, pretty darn cool. Train service coming. Yeah, no, it's a good start. Eventually we'd like to extend it all the way down to Orlando. That's kind of like the dream idea that we're doing. Wow. So, but then the Mobile, it took longer and it was harder than it should have been. But we got it done. So that's going to start. And, we just think that train service is something that gives more people more options. And so, we're glad about that. And Mobile's, kind of a cousin city of ours. Yeah. We call it sister city, but we've got some relationship with it. It's very New Orleans-like. Michael, have a great weekend. I got a homework assignment for you. We'll talk about it next week. How do we do 2 Mardi Gras? The first weekend before and the second, and split it into 2 and double dip like we do for Jazz Fest. You think about it. We'll talk next week. All right. I'll see you out there tomorrow. Yep. That's Michael Heck, Greater New Orleans Saint. Corey Johnson with you.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Oh, yeah. Doesn't get any better than this. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. The weekend is upon us. It's Jazz Fest weekend. Happy Jazz Fest, New Orleans and beyond. Zurich Classic going on the West Bank, the annual PGA Tour stop. NFL Draft breaks back up in a few hours. It's New Orleans, the greatest city in the world. We are showcasing our greatness right now. Doesn't get any better. Not trying to be redundant or repeating myself, but it just blew me away yesterday listening to WWOZ, the radio station owned by the Jazz Fest, the Jazz and Heritage Foundation. They're the only radio station allowed to broadcast live from Jazz and Heritage Festival. They're doing it right now. If you want to check out the sounds of Jazz Fest. Yeah, what radio hosts hypes another radio station? Glad to do it. Now, I'm listening to OZ yesterday, and they rattled off a list of stations around the country that are simulcasting their live from Jazz Fest broadcast. And it was literally dozens and dozens of stations. It might have been like 50 stations all around the country simulcasting WWOZ live from the Jazz Fest. Just awesome. I mean, incredible. And then every day, because it's New Orleans, WWOZ has this thing called the Live Wire. Could be Monday, it could be Sunday, Wednesday. And the Live Wire, they rattle off all the live bands that are playing, the acts that are playing that night, and the venues that they're playing at and the time. You know, Flow Tribe will be at Chickawawa at 9 p.m. tonight, whatever. The Live Wire yesterday went on for about 5 minutes. It was north of 100 acts at over 90 venues in Orleans Parish alone. It was insane. I'm like, well, where am I? New York, Chicago, London, Tokyo? 100 plus music acts to choose from. 100 plus at 90 different music venues and clubs. I'm like, my mind imploded. I'm like, damn, man. New Orleans is even bigger and better than I thought when it comes to music. I mean, anywhere in the world that has that, especially per capita, we got 350,000 folks in New Orleans. What is it, 380,000? 380,000. And 100 different acts playing at 90 plus different clubs, venues. No, New Orleans is music heaven. It really is. We're the music capital of the world. We're one of the great food cities. We are super rich in culture. We're in the United States of America for the rest of the world. That's like a big plus. Just European masterpiece, the history, the architecture, the people, the festivals. This is our strength. I'm critical of New Orleans. We suck at the 9 to 5 stuff Monday through Friday. But boy, the festivals, the party, we're the best at it. And Jazz Fest is one of the greatest music festivals in the world. And we get 8 days of it right here at the fairgrounds in Gentilly in New Orleans. Pretty tough to beat. And the weather's fantastic. And next weekend looks pretty damn good too. But first things first, this weekend, today, tomorrow, Sunday, kind of rinse and repeat, waking up to about 70, might get up to 85 degrees. Looks like it's going to be a little more sunny tomorrow and Sunday than today. 85, partly cloudy, breezy, no rain. Yeah, happy Jazz Fest. Happy Zurich Classic on the West Bank. Go check that out if you're not going to Jazz Fest every day. You won't be disappointed. Great food. Great music. You're outdoor, great venue, great setting. There are no houses. It's not like in a neighborhood. It's like in a forest on the West Bank. It's pretty cool. And it's 5 minutes from the UEP Long Bridge. 5 minutes. You can be at the TPC from Clearview Shopping Center in like 7 minutes. It's right there, yet you think you're so far away. You're kind of in an isolated, wooded area. It's pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. No, big weekend. Day 2 of 8 days of Jazz Fest. Weekend number 1 of Jazz Fest. They'll do it again tomorrow at 11 a.m. They'll do it again Sunday at 11 a.m. And rounds 3 and 4 tomorrow. They'll make the cut down after they finish up round 2 today. And they'll play tomorrow and Sunday, and they'll crown a champion. That's on TV nationwide, internationally. Folks checking out the Zurich Classic. NFL draft coming up. Saints picked an offensive lineman from Texas, Kelvin Banks. He'll start right away. Saints need to get a few more starters. They won 5 games last year. They need more starters. If you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed a lot. Fletcher Mackel broke it down for us. Had a lot to cover with Fletcher Mackel, the draft, who the Saints are going to key in on today. They got to get a couple of more starters tonight. They got to get a few more starters. 5 wins. This draft needs to produce like 3 or 4 starting players. They're 1 for 1. Let's see if they can keep it going. Fletcher Mackel's like, they got to get a quarterback today. Because you can't pick one on Saturday, and then you just got 3 guys that aren't ready to play quarterback in the NFL. Derek Carr's not suiting up again for the Saints, according to Fletcher Mackel, and I think he's 100% right. That seems obvious at this point. Michael Heck just joined us to end the 4 o'clock hour. Michael Heck from Greater New Orleans Inc. Yeah, I threw a little homework assignment out at him. You know, we got 2 weekends of Jazz Fest. Are there folks that stay for both weekends? You bet. But 90% plus come in for one weekend, then they leave. And we have a lot of folks, I mentioned it last hour, north of 10%, double-digit percentage from New York, New Jersey, double-digit percentage from Europe, like 5% from, Central, South America, Mexico. So we get a lot of international tourists. It might be like 1 out of 4 people are from nowhere around here. And then there's a lot of folks from around, the region and the rest of the country. So they come in for four days of Jazz Fest and then they leave. And then another group comes in for 4 days of Jazz Fest and then they leave. So the hotels fill up, they empty, they fill up again. The restaurants fill up, they empty, they fill up again. Different group of people, all ready to spend their money. We need to do the same thing with Mardi Gras. The same thing with Mardi Gras. We need to figure out a way to market Mardi Gras at, Mardi Gras with Fat Tuesday, that weekend, the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then the weekend before that, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and not Deep Gras. We need to come up with a legitimate name for it, something that separates it, like pre-Mardi Gras Fest, whatever, something creative, where folks will come down for that and get the Mardi Gras experience. Now, some folks are rolling their eyes going, man, if you're not here for Mardi Gras Day, you're not here for Mardi Gras. I say baloney on that. So your friends, family, cousins, relatives, whatever, come in the Thursday night before Mardi Gras. They're here Thursday night, Friday, Saturday. They're checking out all the Saturday parades, going Endymion. Sunday, all the Toth, Okeanos, Mid-City, Bacchus. Monday, Orpheus. Then they get on a plane like 11 at night and fly out Monday night back to where they live. They get home. What have you been doing, Charlie, the last few days? I was down in New Orleans enjoying Mardi Gras. They're lying? They're lying because they weren't there for Mardi Gras Day? Baloney. It's BS. You don't have to be here for Mardi Gras Day. You're here for the weekend. You're here for Mardi Gras. You're here the previous weekend. I mean, the people outside of the city, they don't know all the significant things we know. I mean, Fat Tuesday, a lot of folks know that, but the weekend before is pretty damn serious. We could have a few more events. Make that Saturday something like a Fat Tuesday or something. Rename that Saturday, what is that, 9-10 days out from Mardi Gras something? And make that weekend like as big as Mardi Gras weekend. Jazz Fest, I mean, I think those weekends probably are equal. Maybe one does better than the other. I have no idea. I doubt it. They probably both have the same economic impact. We need to figure out a way to split Mardi Gras into 2 weekends so we get double the amount of tourists for Mardi Gras. We double up on the tourists. It's got to be a way to do it. It's got to be a way to do it. It is a Fantasy Friday. Ching, ching, we ring that 5 o'clock whistle. I love this time of the week, a little after 5 o'clock on a Friday. 100% of the work week in the books. 100% of this fantastic Jazz Fest weekend in front of us. The 5 o'clock whistle, appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. Boy, what a great place to stop before Jazz Fest, after Jazz Fest. Katie's in Mid-City, not far away. Couple of blocks behind Angelo Bricato's ice cream joint. Iberville, corner Talamacus, in the heart of Mid-City, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Outdoor dining, too. Katie's in Mid-City. Speaking of Katie's, Scott Craig is going to join us next when we come back. Talk a little New Orleans, talk a little food, Jazz Fest, Zurich, all kind of good stuff with a Yaddy New Orleanian just like me, like Fletcher Mackel. Scott Craig from Katie's, from Francesca Deli in Lakeview, joins us next. Corey Johnson with you, Fantasy Friday.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Are you kidding me? Doesn't get much nicer than this. This is painting weather. Knock out that paint project, New Orleans. Paint ain't paint. All paint's not the same. Are you kidding me? Helm Paint and Decorating, over 55 years in New Orleans. Paint ain't paint. Don't go to the big box store. Don't go to the national chain store. You go to the local guys that all they do is paint. Helm Paint and Decorating in New Orleans, 7 locations, free 2-hour delivery. Helm Paint and Decorating, Baton Rouge, 4 locations, free 2-hour delivery. Paint ain't paint. Get the best. Do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating in New Orleans and in Baton Rouge. I just mentioned the 5 o'clock whistle every Friday, where we recognize this very time of the week, a little after 5. Weekends fully in front of us, the work week's behind us. I said it is appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. Speaking of Katie's, Scott Craig from Katie's in Mid-City, Francesca Deli and Pizzeria in Lakeview joins us live on the program again. What up, Scott?
Hey, brother, how are you?
Doing well, man. Yourself?
Huh?
You're doing well. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Went out to Jazz Fest yesterday. It was delightful, man. You know, I'm not the biggest Jazz Fest guy in the world anymore as I've gotten older, but like I'd never be caught there tomorrow, you know, because it's just too packed. But yesterday was awesome. It's Locals Day. You know, I mean, the music was great. We saw John Fogerty. I mean, he was so unbelievable.
Got some good eats?
Crawfish strudel, baby.
Yep.
That's my go-to every time we go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Crawfish strudel's good.
That's my buddy, John Kaluta. John Kaluta of Kaluta's Steam Cakes and Cottage Catering was my first boss in the restaurant industry in 1977.
Jeez,
he was the manager at the Sizzler Steakhouse on
Carrollton?
Veterans Highway, where Acme is now.
Yeah, where Acme is. Yeah, I was going to say they had the one where, 5 Happiness on Carrollton and the one on Vets.
And it's a great story because I was a dishwasher and a busboy. And I told him I knew how to cook steaks. You know, I knew how to cook when I was 15. You know, my dad showed me a lot. And I learned a lot from ladies in my neighborhood because I love to eat. And he was like, great kid, you know, whatever. So one night, 2 line cooks didn't show up. He said, get in here. And I was flipping burgers, cooking steaks in Langostino.
Wow. Yeah, Langostino. I remember that. I got a funny story for you. I was a kid, I must have been 8. And it was my parents' anniversary. We were at Antoine's for dinner. And it was my parents and me and my 4 other brothers and sisters. And apparently I said, when it was time to order, I was like, I want the filet mignon, the king of steaks, because that's what Sizzler said on their commercial. We have the king of steaks, filet mignon. So that's what I said. And my parents, I think, just laughed. And we probably got 1 filet mignon and cut it into 3 pieces for me and 1 to my brother and 1 to my sister, something like that. And then apparently I said we would get much faster service at Burger King. And the reason I know it is because apparently a Times-Picayune reporter was at the other table, and the next day an article was written about it. And
how old were you?
I was about 8, and it was the Johnson family apparently was celebrating their anniversary at Antoine's, but one of the kids, apparently had heard the Sizzler commercial and wanted the king of steaks, and also said the service at Burger King's much faster.
You know what, man? That's irresponsible media.
Of my parents. That's what I say. I said that's what I told my parents. Irresponsible of them.
Of them to write, of someone to write it. You know? I don't know. Your dad didn't write that.
No, of course not. It was some reporter that wrote it. Yep.
Your dad was a legend, man. A legend. My dad loved your dad, man.
That's nice.
So you want to talk about food this weekend?
Yeah, man. Thank you for that compliment, by the way. Yeah, let's talk about some food. Hey, I tell folks before Jazz Fest, after Jazz Fest, Katie's in Mid-City. It's right there. What you got cooking, Scott?
Man. We got crushed last night. Half a baked chicken. Somebody's calling me. Sorry.
Do you have to click over, Scott? We can do this another time.
It's not important.
No. Click over and tell the lawn guy to come Tuesday, whatever the other call is. Jeez, we're live on the radio. These Brother Martin guys, I just don't get it, man. That Elysian Fields education, my God.
Half a baked chicken with 5 cheese macaroni and glazed Brussels sprouts.
Wow.
Boudin stuffed double cut pork chop. That's been in demand. People have been asking for it. With a creamy Creole sauce and balsamic glazed Brussels sprouts. Festival crawfish bread appetizer. We used to call it Jazz Fest pizza, but we can't use the word Jazz Fest anymore. They don't make enough money. Fried speckled trout. Fresh speckled trout with broccoli rice, cheddar rice. I'm sorry, it's small print.
Hey, how many speckled trout fillets would you guesstimate you guys have tonight at Katie's? Because it's not unlimited. You don't have 50.
No, I probably, it's not like I get a lot of redfish. We always have redfish on the board, always, because I get beautiful redfish every day. But I probably have 10 trout fillets.
So get them while they're good, while they're there. Fresh speckled trout, local speckled trout, one of the best eating fish in the world.
And we've got beautiful soft-shell crabs. We're stuffing them tonight. Or you can get it fried, whatever you'd like.
How many of those do you have?
I have a dozen.
12 soft-shell crabs. When they're gone, they're gone. I mean, that's how it works at Katie's. It's not unlimited. It's special items. Keep rolling, Scott. What else?
It really is. And then we have blackened catfish with a seafood stuffed bell pepper.
Wow.
And then tonight, we're doing, tonight, you already got it. I already told you. So we're good.
Nice. That's Katie's, plus all the regular menu items. Katie's in Mid-City. Go check them out. Outdoor dining at Katie's, wrapping around the building, down Iberville, down Telemachus, indoor dining upstairs. Katie's as New Orleans as it gets. What's cooking over at Francesca in Lakeview before y'all call it a night?
Oh, we have the seafood platters. Today's just like a seafood day specials, but Wednesday we do meatloaf. And brother, we can't cook enough. We ran out at 2:30 last week, and people were coming in for dinner, and they were all mad because we were out.
Wow!
So I'm getting on my guys. I'm like, you got to cook more because it's something that's in demand now, but gosh, they get mad when we don't have it.
Such a comfort food item. What's the meatloaf all about at Francesca in Lakeview?
It's my mother's recipe. My mother, God bless her soul, she was from Indianapolis and didn't know how to cook a whole lot but meat and potatoes. And her meatloaf was the finest ever. It was so good. And she used to burn the ketchup on top.
Yep.
We don't do that because it burns too much. But she just had a knack for it. It's great.
Wow. Nice. Mama's meatloaf.
99 when she checked out.
Wow. That's fantastic. That's a good stretch. Yep. Mama's Meatloaf on Wednesdays at Francesca Deli in Lakeview, Harrison Avenue, in between Canal Boulevard and West End Boulevard, Pontchartrain Boulevard. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's and Francesca. Yesterday, he was at Jazz Fest. Scott, I always tell folks, check out Jazz Fest. That's the big thing. Don't overlook Zurich Classic. Lots of good food, lots of good restaurants, lots of venues, music afterwards. You're outside. It's the PGA Tour. That's almost like an afterthought. You can go there. The golf's almost an incidental. You can go there as a non-golf fan and have a blast.
Yeah, you really can. The hospitality tent's really nice.
Yep.
If you spend the money and buy the VIP package, you can get all those tents, and it's really nice. I used to do the white chocolate bread pudding in the hospitality tent. And a couple of weeks ago, I was told that Brennan's was back, and they didn't need us anymore. I'm like, okay. Well, it was 80 pans of bread pudding that I had to cook for 4 days. And I was involving Mark Springfloat and the University of New Orleans HRT department is never going to help us out.
Yep.
And I'm really disappointed because I'm trying to market them. They really need some love, man. I mean, UNO doesn't as a whole.
That's so typical Scott Craig. I thought he was going to say, I'm relieved. I don't have to do this anymore. It was a chore. I'm glad I contributed. I was going to say you did your part. That's fantastic. Instead, he's disappointed. Scott, hold that thought. I'm going to knock out a quick break. We'll come back, talk a little bit more about that. And also some other goodies around the Crescent City. Things going on. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's, from Francesca Deli. Corey Johnston with you. Don't move.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Yeah, you right. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson back at you. 85 degrees, partly cloudy, breezy, no rain. Rinse and repeat tomorrow and Sunday. Happy Jazz Fest. Jazz Fest day number 2 of 8, going smoothly. They'll go for about another hour and 20 minutes. You know, you can check out the sounds of Jazz Fest. If you can't make it down to Gentilly in the fairgrounds, WWOZ 90.7 FM live from the fest. The sounds of Jazz Fest from the Jazz Fest Foundation radio station. Zurich Classic, the annual PGA Tour stop on the Best Bank, TPC of Louisiana, round 2 winding down. They'll cut it down to the final field. They'll play tomorrow, round 3, round 4 on Sunday. The weather looks great for all of that. Saints draft continues. Got a few more selections tonight. Got to pick starters like this offensive tackle from Texas, Kelvin Banks. Scott Craig is with us from Katie's, from Francesca Deli. Scott, it's pretty simple. When you got a 5-win team, you need lots of new starters. The Saints need to draft starters. Like the next 2 or 3 picks, those have to be Let me put it this way, maybe. The next 2 or 3, you need 2 or 3 starters out of the next, say, 4 or 5 selections. So the Saints need multiple starters out of this draft. They're 1 for 1. This kid from Texas, Kelvin Banks, he's starting on the offensive line day 1 come September.
Yeah, it wasn't a flashy pick, and their picks haven't been flashy for a long time simply because they're having to pick linemen. And now they've got a line, and that's set. Now, next, hopefully you can get any other position. Cornerback, tight end, linebacker. They need cornerbacks. They need another tight end. They need another running back unless Miller works out. You know, I'm a Miller fan, but he's always hurt. I think you just go into the season. Don't pick. They're not going to. I just got an alert that the Saints will not pick Shedeur Sanders. He must have done something really bad in the interview process because nobody wants him.
Well, yeah, he was, you know, a few months ago, he was a top 3 to 5 pick. Now he's not in the first round at all. That a lot of folks said during the interviews process, he was a little too cocky and flashy. And then a lot of teams supposedly were like, you got to deal with Deion Sanders, and who wants to deal with Deion Sanders? That was sort of the sentiment. Like, I mean, he's a coach, and he's not hands off. This isn't Archie Manning. Here's my kid, and, you know, I trust you with him. It's more, you know, I'm going to be there all the time. I'm going to be talking. I'm going to be communicating. You're using my kid wrong, you know, that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of factors came into play, and then I don't know, maybe some team drafts that kid and then now he's got a chip on his shoulder. We'll see.
Yeah. Dealing with Deion Sanders is probably a big part of it. And, you know, I don't think he understands how much damage he does to his son. And the kid's never been coached by anyone else. His whole life, his dad's been his coach. So, I mean, that's a bad sign right there because he's not used to anything else but his father. And I don't know. He's not a runner like the NFL wants right now. He's not great at escaping the pocket. And you just can't count on him to complete passes, you know? I don't know. It's a shame because he's probably a good kid, you know? But there's just too many other needs. I just think they need to go into the season with come on, man, our quarterback, a Brattler, and go from there. You know,
that's the thing too. Do you even have a quarterback, Hayner, Rattler? If you draft a QB, if it's not tonight, you're getting another Hayner or Rattler. You get a Tom Brady, it's a 1 in 100. So, I don't know who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Saints for next year. And when you're in this situation, Scott, I mean, it's very hard to think the Saints can have a winning record this season with no Derek Carr. And there were question marks about him even. But with no Derek Carr, you're going from at least having an experienced starting NFL quarterback that's somewhere in the, top 15 to top 25 in the NFL. And now you're going to arguably guys that may never, ever be able to handle it at the NFL. The Saints need to draft a QB, and then it's got to be a guy that can start for you. And I don't know. That's a Saints kind of have an uphill battle with the quarterback position right now.
They have to have a great draft this year, fill the positions, play this year out, see how it goes with Rattler, and then have another great draft next year. And maybe next year it'll be a top 5 pick. But they've got a lot of rebuilding to do. They're in a rebuilding mode, and that's what they have to do right now, and that's my opinion. I mean, you cannot reach for a quarterback in a draft that doesn't have any good quarterback.
That's the worst thing you can do. But, boy, waiting till next year, it's been a lot of years since the Drew Brees era ended and Sean Payton. And right now the Saints aren't a very good football team, and they're long in the tooth. Tyrann Mathieu, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan. There's a lot of age on that team too. So, I don't know. They really have to hit some kind of home run. I don't know if it's like Milroe from Alabama, get some QB that can start and is successful. He doesn't have to be a Pro Bowler, but that can handle the position. And it happens more and more. We saw it in D.C. We saw it in Denver this year. It's rare though, Scott. It's not. You can't count on that.
I mean, you like Milroe?
No, I'm just saying, no, I don't know. I don't know if him or Shador. No, I don't necessarily like him. All these other quarterbacks you're talking about, outside of the first two, it's a crapshoot the rest of the way. Somebody out there besides the first two that were picked will make it at the NFL, will start for a team someday down the road, and will be a successful starting quarterback. There's somebody in this draft. One of these QBs will be successful, and who knows who it is? I have no idea. No, I don't necessarily like any of them.
Even the only QB that got picked in the first round he's a project. He's going to have to sit and watch for a couple of years, with New York. And I wasn't even sure about him. If they could have gotten him at 40, maybe so. But they have so much to work on. They just need to play it out. How do we know? Spencer Rattler might be a good quarterback.
That's all we can hope for at this point. Because I would argue LSU has a better starting quarterback than the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, there's no question about that. And there was a question asked this morning. If Arch Manning was in the draft right now, and Nussmeier was in the draft, who would you pick? I'd pick Nussmeier. He's got experience. Arch Manning hadn't showed anything to us yet.
And Arch Manning's the favorite to win the Heisman.
Well, Nussmeier's second. So we'll see about that.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. That's a hell of a question. And that it's easy to say Arch Manning. But it's like, no, you're actually a general manager of an NFL team and the selection matters. Failure or success. No, that's a hell of a great question. That really is.
Yeah, and people that think Arch Manning's coming out next year, Mannings don't leave school early. He's going to be in school another 2 years. So,
I would be shocked if he came out early next year. I agree with you. I agree.
He's not doing that. But I just think we need to see what we can do with Rattler and play it out.
That's the only choice, Scott. That's the only choice. It's probably going to be Rattler starting at quarterback.
But they need somebody else. They can't go into the season with two quarterbacks.
No, you'll probably get some, veteran that's somewhere, north of 30 that can play and can tutor and that kind of thing. You probably have to get that. That'll be. Yeah. No, Aaron Rodgers starts. That's what you hope for if you're a Saint fan, and some Saint fans might be rolling their eyes. I'm like, I'm not enamored with 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. What you're hoping for if you're a Saints fan is no team in the NFL, including the Steelers, they seem to be the favorite. They can't land Aaron Rodgers. No one wants to. His price comes way down. He still desperately wants to play one more year, and the Saints sign him. That is the only positive scenario at quarterback that I can think of outside of them drafting some guy, and all of a sudden he's the deal. He's, Jaden Daniels or Knicks, And
I think any shot at Derek Carr coming back is done simply because of the way it's been handled. Nobody's saying anything.
Well, by Carr.
But nobody's saying anything. Carr hasn't said anything.
No. And Mickey Loomis acknowledged there's a shoulder injury, but that was about all. That was about it.
But, and won't tell anybody anything about what's going on.
No, it's crazy.
Honestly,
it's crazy.
So everybody has to guess.
Yeah, no, it's a little bizarre.
So he really can't come back now because he's burned his bridge in New Orleans.
Oh, no, he's done. Fletcher Mackel said it. I agree with him. We'll never see Carr again. Hang on 1 second, Scott. Corey Johnson with you. Coming right back.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Total TM-JC.com, no cool spots. TM-JC.com, no cool spots.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Hey, if you need a great pair of prescription glasses or a great pair of sunglasses, there's only one place to go. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them. The name of the eyewear boutique is Art and Eyes on Magazine. Eyewear that's as unique as you. You want to know the best part about Art and Eyes? Name brands you've never, ever heard of in your life. But when you touch, feel, and look at them, put them on, you're going to be like, my God, Corey's right. Super high quality eyewear. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's and Francesca Deli in Lakeview. Hey, Scott, what's the schedule for Katie's over the next few days with Jazz Fest?
It's the same. We're open till 10 tonight and tomorrow night, and we close at 5 on Sunday. We've tried to open up on Sunday later, and we just don't have the reputation for it.
Well, you got the Sunday brunch, so I guess people think about that and assume that, I'm going to go to Katie's for that, not dinner, I guess.
Right. Yeah, and it's not worth it. And believe me, my crew needs a break after the weekend. I mean, we really, really are busy.
That's good.
Very, very slow today. Like during the day today, we had a nice little lunch and then died. And normally we're pretty busy from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Friday. We had nothing in there today. Because
they're at Jazz Fest, I guess. But then after that, it starts filling back up, I would assume.
Oh, my phone's blowing up now.
Yeah.
So
what about
it is what it is.
What about Francesca? A place there folks can go and not have to worry about any crowds from Jazz Fest.
Yeah, we close it at 8 tonight. If you want to stop and get something to eat on the way home, I mean, that's always cool. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just a fun place to be. Steph and I were at Katie's last night after the fest, and she hasn't spent a lot of time there since we did the patio. And she's like, nobody else has this in the city, Scott. This is absolutely gorgeous. And it really was, with the breeze. I mean, it was really cool. So, I mean, come join us, guys. I can't begin to tell you how nice that patio is. So, I mean, come see us. Come join us before or after. We've got misters outside if it gets a little warm. I mean, it's really worth your while to come by and check it out. We do Jazz Fest music playing. I'm doing all the greats. Cleary, I've got a whole list, and you know what is pitiful? I'm getting old, and I can't remember the list I sent here to George Porter, Delbert McClinton, John Cleary, Eric Lindell, Dave Jordan, Tab Benoit. We're playing that kind of music, and it's just really cool to sit on the patio and listen to that.
Yep.
It's so Jazz Fest,
Katie's, as New Orleans as it gets. Iberville, corner Telemachus, just a few blocks behind Angelo Bricato's ice cream joint on Carrollton. And Francesca Deli, the old Charlie's Deli location for you old timers on Harrison, between Canal Boulevard and West End Boulevard. About 15 specialty sandwiches to choose from, or build your own. Pick the bread, the meat, the dressing, the cheese, the extras. Great pizza at both Katie's and Francesca Deli.
Look, I know there's popular po' boy shops and stuff around the city, and that's great. But I'm going to try on po' boys. The roast beef is second to none. The shrimp po' boy, you can't eat it all. Oysters, you get like 16 oysters on a po' boy. Yeah, or any other po' boy you want to make. The Cuban sandwich, second to none. I mean, I'm really the club sandwich, the half-pound BLT. We cook the bacon right. We cook it in a pan in the oven so it's nice and thin. Come try it out, man. I'm telling you, you will absolutely love Francesca. We've got parking, public parking, right behind the bank, right near our corner, because they put a parking lot back there just for the local businesses on Harrison Avenue.
Nice.
So it's like a half a block walk. Just come check us out. We've got a cute little patio there, too. Just come check us out. You'll love it. Be worth your while.
Scott Craig of Katie's, of Francesca. Scott, always a pleasure, brother. Happy Jazz Fest.
No more Beth, Corey. I'm sorry, that was from my wife. Love you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me this afternoon.
Hey, man, give your cousin a text.
All right. Yeah,
She might need to talk to you right now, okay?
Yeah, you're right. Scott Craig joining us live from Katie's, Francesca Deli. Corey Johnson with you. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program coming to an end on this Fantasy Friday. Yeah, you're right. Jazz Fest weekend, Zurich Classic weekend, Saints Draft. More of that tonight. A full weekend. Fired up about that. Plus the weather's cooperating. That's so key. Right now, like 81 degrees tomorrow and Sunday, starting out around 70, and then we creep into the mid-80s. Supposed to be a little more sunny tomorrow and a little more sunny on Sunday. So get the sunblock out, get the big old hat. Jazz Fest, Zurich Classic. Love that there's no rain. Love that the crowds are huge at both. Have a great time. Have a great weekend. Hey, if you're looking to get off the beaten path, looking for some food, we just talked to Scott Craig, Francesca. Don't forget about Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton and Jeanette by the streetcar barn, off the beaten path. Not a lot of tourists are going to be there. Easy in and out, outdoor dining, to-go orders. Trey Inn in Mandeville. Perfect weekend to go to Trey Inn in Mandeville. You kidding me? And it's not a hike. It's 25 minutes from Lakeside Mall to the front door of Trey Inn. Blue Boy, you like all those ideas. Francesca, Lebanon's Trey Inn. Oh, boy, you want some lamb chops. Holy smokes. Have a great weekend. Happy Jazz Fest.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.